Okay, here we are. As you can see, I've flipped it over now. I've got some fiberglass in here. This layer isn't too thick up here, but it's enough to kind of hold up the silicone at this point in time. It's probably somewhere in the realm of like 1/8 of an inch, perhaps. I've moved down. So the complication, the big problem with this is actually here on the sides here. As I flipped it over and the weight of the silicone adjusted within the mother mold here, everything kind of sank down a little bit. And for this to actually meet flush with the mother mold underneath, it actually, I don't know how well you can see, there's actually a gap there now. And this will translate into a bit of a problem in the end. So on this side, I've attempted to fix that, and I actually got some little syringes and tried injecting the onyx up underneath there. I don't know how successful I was, and I'm probably not going to know until I demold it. On this side, I might just end up taking a brush and just trying to mash it in. Let's see if I can get, I mean, yeah, you can see that space that's forming there. And that's just the issue with a mold that just doesn't quite fit. I mean, the mold itself, it's rubbery, so it can compress, and so with its weight, as you flip it over and it compresses down, I mean, you can squish it down with your finger, which means the weight of itself is going to kind of squish down, and so like these sorts of things happen. I'm going to just attempt to squish some onyx in there and go from there. This part has been blessedly easy. These are big, flat, square surfaces, and I can really just whip these out really quick. Without a doubt, the most challenging part is going to be down in here. Trying to get the onyx up and into those spaces is going to be a challenge. Actually, I hadn't even seen the inside of it from this angle, so you're seeing it, and I haven't. These little ear pieces here are going to be a little tricky as well. So at this point, one of the most important techniques I've just kind of discovered here is once you take your brush and it's covered in onyx and it's starting to solidify on you and it's kind of getting tacky, start tapping it on the previously dried section, and what that's going to do is give you a nice texture for your series of layers to kind of grip onto. And so I kind of did that over here, and you can see this texture is really, it's really rough, and that's gonna help additional resin just kind of get there and grip onto it. I'm concerned here that the fiberglass resin, the Bondo resin I've used here because it's so much cheaper, did not adhere to the onyx as well as I hope it did. We'll just kind of see if the onyx flakes off of it. Typically it seems to adhere pretty well to anything. On the shoulder piece, when I did this process, I had a thicker layer of onyx, and I ended up sanding the inside of it to give it some grit. And I tried that a little bit here, but only time will tell how successful I was. You can see in areas like this where you can even see the grooves and stuff coming through, that that onyx is paper thin right there, and so I'm hesitant to sand it very vigorously, and that because I would go through the onyx and actually start to damage the silicone underneath. I think ultimately, especially in this area here where it's not going to be perfect, I'm just going to have to go and go back into it with some sort of filler, whether that's the epoxy clay, which would probably be the most easiest to use and shape, and let it dry in there because it dries very strong, and any sort of little cracks or imperfections. Maybe even a wood filler. I know some of those advertise stronger than wood and sandable and paintable and all that, so we just kind of may see what we end up with. But I think epoxy sculpt might be the most durable and easy to use, although it's a bit more pricey, but not that bad. But there we are, we're getting there. This is taking a lot longer than I thought it would end up taking. As you can see, like, when it's thin enough, the whole thing is somewhat flexible. So this is going to take many more layers of resin and fiberglass cloth before it's durable enough.